The movie begins with a hunter sharing the story of a wolf who is eyeing a goat's family. The hunter is residing in a cave, hears a movement, and heads out to look out for any danger. By leaving his family in cave safely, soon he is attacked by the wolf, as his daughter looks on. Then the wolf goes on to attack the little girl as well. Circa 2022, Bhaskar Sharma is a contractor. He called by his boss. He is assigned the job of building a road that passes through a forest in Arunachal Pradesh. Bhaskar is keen on getting this job done, for he is banking on the money he would make if the deal was sanctioned by the locals and the local authorities. Bhaskar is a money-minded, city-bred man who is yet to be in touch with nature to be able to understand how people and animals are connected to it. We also notice that Baski hates dog. Bhaskar agrees to the terms, thinking he would be able to easily convince the locals to give up their forest land for the sake of development, which Bhaskar considers more important than conserving the environment. Then Bhaski rushed to his home. Then we will see that Stree movie famous character Janardhan aka Jana who called as JD in this movie. Bhaskar told him to pack his bag as they were heads to the Arunachal Pradesh. Then we'll see some comedy of geographical area of Arunachal Pradesh by JD. Bhaskar heads to Arunachal Pradesh with his cousin Janardhan and is joined by his friend Jomin. At that time we will see JD making fun of Jomin's name and his face. Because northeast people look similar to Nepal or Chinese. From the airport, 3 of them drive to the village where the project is proposing. It is so good to see their journey. It remembers me Zindagi Na Milega Dobara movie. Jomin arranges a home for them in a populated town near the project he will be proposing. Jomin, Bhaskar, and Janardhan are joined by Mr. Panda, who will be the contact between Bhaskar and the locals. Bhaskar had meeting with authority. They suggested him to build road around the zero forest, but he is successes to convince the authorities with subtle bribery, but Mr. Panda's concern is the locals. Bhaskar, being from the city, concludes without even meeting the locals that they are poor and in dire need of development. After completing the meeting, Bhaski, JD and Jomin driving to the guest house. They were making jokes while driving. While going their car got imbalance and crashed. JD and Jomin repairing the car, and on the other hand Bhaski making fun of their fear because of the story told by the Mr. Panda about the Vishanu virus. That kill who destroy the forest. Then a Bhaskar is chased by a wolf. He climbed a tree. Wolf jumped and bites on his back. At that time JD and Jomin thrown stone to the wolf and that ran to the jungle. There is no big hospital near to the town as well as to stop the news of the wolf. So they took him to the veterinary doctor Annika. Her character also funny. She don't know whether she give tablet or injection. She asks with JD about that. Even if she is a doctor they don't know what to do. She tries her best treat him, giving him a painkiller and dressing up the wonder. The next day, Bhaskar wakes up with a different feeling about himself and his body. He has well-toned abs and arms, his teeth are sharp, and the wound he got from the bite healed overnight. His senses have changed, his hunger has increased, and now he is a non-vegetarian. Bhaskar is constantly craving all kinds of meat. He can hear whisper now, which start bothering him. And his sense of smell also changed. Now good smell became bad smell and bad smell become good smell to him. Bhaskar is confused to see his body going through such changes. He wants answers but can't seem to find them. And he now understand the animal language and now he don't hate animals. Bhaskar puts the deal in front of them, which is vehemently opposed by the villagers. Bhaskar hoped his throwing of words like development and progress would make sure the villagers would agree to part with their land. But no use. So he convinced the youths of that village by giving false hopes like mall theatre and more. So they convinced their parents to sign the property. On the night of a music festival, Prakash, who is the official connected to the road project, get all the signed papers of the villagers and he took it to his home. But an wolf attack gravely injures him. Next morning Bhaski came to know that his timber contractor's Prakash has been attacked by an animal. Bhaski doubts himself that he is the one who injured him. The three of them are initially unperturbed by the turn of events, but soon Bhaskar spews out blood vomit which alarms Janardhan and Jom. There is a rumor between the villagers that Yakum or Vishanu lives in the forest. Who cuts the forest? Vishanu cuts him. If the Vishanu attacked person didn't die, then he will also become Vishanu. On the full moon he became wolf and attacked others. In this way the virus spread all over the village. So villagers burn that person. Here Prakash alive. So forest officers and doctors killed him and burned his body. They consult Dr. Annika, who suggests giving him another painkiller, but the wolf in him takes over, and with all his strength, he picks up the bed. His cousin and friend conclude that his behavior is not normal and he needs to get a checkup. From Panda, they come to know of Vishanu, who as per local rumor, is a man-eating animal that will attack those who propose the idea of destroying the forest. The villagers remain hush-hush about the existence of such a creature, but the deaths that are emerging make it seem that the creature is back on an attacking spree. Panda also reveals that anyone Vishanu bites would turn into a werewolf on a full moon night. That person will also gain the power of shapeshifting into a werewolf at his or her own will. A few days later, on the day of full moon, Bhaski turns into wolf little by little and become a wolf, and went out for hunt. JD and Jomin followed him, but the wolf attacked on them. They escaped by locking themselves in car. They able to figure out it was Bhaskar by looking at the shorts he was wearing. Next they came to know that another official attached to the project is found dead inside the office with CCTV footage of the wolf attacking him to death. These blue shorts are visible in the CCTV footage of another official of the project that was killed by the same werewolf. The police decided to use it as evidence to locate the animal. Janardhan decides to burn the cloth away but fails to do that. But Mr. Panda heard they discussing about the Bhaski's transformation. And he also got that shorts. He ran to tell the truth with villagers, but Bhaski catch him and frighten him. So decided to be with his team and also suggest to meet the local black magician. But they don't know when he will return from forest. So Mr. Panda every day go and check his place. Dr. Annika mentions that it is not scientifically possible for someone to turn into another animal, as it can be a clinical condition called lycanthropy, where a human being has a delusion that he or she has turned into a wolf. Dr. Annika helps with everything possible so that Bhaskar does not feel alienated. Bhaskar comes back home naked after every full moon night of transformation. He is unable to get a grip on his transformations, and Dr. Annika always comes to rescue him. She takes him to a special spot of hers on top of a hill and talks about why this forest is an important part of this village. Annika believes Bhaskar will stay back because he has started loving the greenery and understands its importance. But Bhaskar reveals he needs to go back to Delhi and leave the project. Annika and Bhaskar find mutual admiration and develop a fondness for each other. On the full moon night, Janardhan and Jomin try to tie him up to a pillar inside a wood mill so that after the transformation, he does not run away. Sadly, they are caught by the local policeman. He locked them with Bhaski inside the mill. And he films the transformation. Bhaskar, as the werewolf, does not wants to harm his cousin and friends, but as wolf he don't know them and tried to catch them. When it came to the JD, he tries to convince that he is his cousin, don't hurt him. When it goes to the Jomin, then he convinced by saying he is his friend who helped in his projects and others. Then Vishanu kills the police and opened the gate. Bhaskar and the Vishanu werewolf seem to have a connection that both Janardhan and Jomin can see. Bhaskar knows he is innocent. All the killings happen because of his transformation, not because he intends to murder anyone. Finally, Mr. Panda found local magician and took Bhaski and others to him. Jay suggests that too on the night of new moon if that wolf which bite to the bashki. If it bite on the same spot, then he will be cured. All the four of them with Annika helped Bhaskar by making him armor using cricket gear and revealing the part where he was bitten as bait for the Vishanu. The same night, local police forced a guerrilla group to tranquilize Vishanu. As Bhaskar is waiting for the real werewolf, Vishanu is hit and tranquilized by the officers. Vishanu retreats to a cave and Bhaskar follows it to the cave, only to find out Dr. Annika is Vishanu. And also reveals that the girl from the starting scene is Annika. She is a 100-year-old beast safeguarding the forest from poachers and dwellers who want to destroy the forest. Bhaskar is surprised to learn Annika always wanted to protect the forest and spoke in favor of how the forest helps them breed and is the lung of the country. Destroying it would mean destroying the habitats of many living beings. She wanted to kill Bhaskar but didn't because she thought he grew to like nature and would stop the project. Then that soldier came near to the cave, so Annika again transformed and tried to escape, but she captured by them. The JD and Jomin inspired Bhaski to help Annika. Though he finally controlled his power and heads to help Annika. In front of the police station, Annika captured inside the cage. All the villagers are there. The policemen want to burn that wolf in front of the villagers. At that time Bhaski arrived there, and with the help of bats, he distracted them and released Annika. They together fight with them and killed all them. Only 2 members are left. When they heads to kill them, then local magician came from and spare their lives. And kill only the people who harms forest. With them all the villagers kneel down in front of Vishanu. So Vishanu go back to the forest. In the fight Annika was badly injured, so Bhaski took her to the mountain. There they saw the Sunrise. And hugged each other. Then Annika fall down from the mountain. After this incident Bhaski made road around the forest, not making harm to the forest. At the post-credit scene of the movie, we saw Vicky and Bittu from the Stree movie. They came here for finding JD, and then it reveals that the Gangadhar Hi Shakti Man Hai, that means JD from this movie is the same guy from the Stree movie who is Jana.